Survival is a harsh, strict teacher offering no mercy for your mistakes. Each lesson is swift, brutal, and unforgiving, often sealed with blood. This only becomes more evident when playing solo. As an Omni Raptor, starting life weak, isolated, and vulnerable, every meal, every growth milestone, and each ally made is a step towards survival, but nothing is certain. The only guarantee is that your life will inevitably end. Spawning at a west rail axis, I immediately smell some hex nearby and go to investigate, but not before some much needed movement speed through photosynthesis. Seems a couple of Herreras have claimed this boar, and even though I'm not a threat, I might be able to annoy them away. After holding a nice long damage pounce, I figured the Herra would give me some time to eat and grow. But he returned quickly. This time, the little paratroopers got the best of me, so I retreated to lick my wounds and find food elsewhere. You win this round, Herreras. After that sketchy attempt for food, I settled on hunting AI in the jungle on my way towards South Plains with the hopes of finding other Omnis. Plus it would take a while to get back to full health without gastro. As the evening turned to night, I continued to grow in the hills eating boar and deer. Something came up and I had to log out soon, so I just opted to relax on the hillside, eating my diet before logging out. When I returned, I grew up with some raptors in the South Plains, but being only half grown and towering over the others in the pack, I knew we weren't going to be ready to fight anytime soon, and we opted to hunt in the western field while they grew. Sometime in the early morning, Eric and Bad killed 2 Herras trying to sneak up on our position. Good riddance. Eric spotted a Ceratosaurus in the field and we immediately engaged. We weren't full grown, but neither was he. This was our proving moment. Our first real fight. A random pack of raptors is unreliable to say the least, but if we could coordinate and bring this guy down, it would go a long way to our survival. Finally succumbing to our combined weight, we basked in the glory of our first successful hunt. By morning, Eric also had to go, leaving just Bad and I to carry on. I had reached full growth and chose the congenial hypoaglesia mutation. We headed into the field on high alert, stalking for movement. There, in the tree, I moved over to the bushes to stalk the prey. Time to strike. We made short work of the pinned Herra and didn't bother to eat the body. Leave it for the peasants. Raptors on the board, tied 1-1. We continued to stalk through the western field before coming across 2 more smaller Ceratosaurs. Perfect dance partners. I waited until I could join unnoticed and jumped in. wanted more, but both sides had injured teammates, so we called it a draw instead. Bad and I looped to the lower falls to get a drink, and returned just in time to see the Serato we just fought get bullied by his angry neighbors. Tough luck. Here's a lesson for any other solos out there. Just because you have a random teammate doesn't mean they have your back. If you do something dumb, they will leave you to die. Rightfully so. And you only have yourself to blame.
It's a bad idea!
After catching a one-shot vomit attack from a juvenile Serato, I was now in trouble. And all alone. Time to run. After meeting back up with Bad, he informed me that he had also vomited. Great. So we agreed to move on to West Rail, hoping to find huntable prey and refill our dangerously low food and water. Back to where it all began. We traveled west through the hills, desperate to find sustenance, but found nothing. Nearing the edge of the clearing, we heard a Carnotaurus call. And shortly after that, a Ceratosaurus. Weird. They're being very vocal. And now a nearby raptor. Great. Now I'm not a doomer, but lately mixed packing has become way too common, so I immediately assumed the worst. But Bad didn't agree. We moved across the field towards the S diet amongst a surplus of raptor barks, reassuring our arrival. I ran up to the expired body and grabbed a slice of temporary salvation. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, right, lady. I fucking knew it. I hate being right. Racing south, I slipped into some bushes and somehow lost them as they chased Bad up into the dead-end mountain. I waited as long as I could before deciding Bad was gone, and I needed food. As I ran away, I looked to the mountain wondering what happened to Bad, hoping he survived.
That's Cooper!
He made it, but was starving. A quick turtle on the beach and we were okay. Not great, but okay. Water was the next hurdle. Bad wanted to go to the northern pond, but I wasn't sure if I'd make it, so I opted to sneak a drink from the mixed packer pond. Very dangerous. I snuck my way to the pond and had an anxiety-ridden drink of water. But when the Carno roared, I turned and ran. We headed to West Access, desperate for food. There we found, you guessed it, another massive pack of carnivores. Carnos. So we scavenged some bodies left over, filled up, and got out of Dodge. We had enough 2VX. We settled on Highlands, and found it uncharacteristically quiet. I guess today wasn't our day. I picked a spot to log, said my goodbyes to Bad, and called it a day. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record when I first logged in the next day, but upon leaving my rock, I found an almost rotten dibble body, got attacked and chased off by a Cera, and was just going for water when a Herra made himself known. I watched him attempt the least obvious sneaking I've ever seen. Pretending that I didn't care about him, I made a point to run off in the other direction, breaking line of sight in some bushes. Then, I began my slow crawl back into a position I could see his tree from. Honestly, I spent way too long sitting here waiting for this Herra. You spend enough time in a bush, you start to lose it. Come on. Come on, you motherfucker. Get the fuck down out of that tree. I've waited a ridiculous amount of time. What am I, a crocodile? Oh my lord. You know you want one of them, dear, don't you? Yeah, you do. Who's a hungry Herra? Oh, what the fuck? Big Daddy Dib. Finally, he jumped down, and I didn't waste any time. Raptors 2, Herrera's 1. After eating the organs to perfect my diet, I left the body for the next hungry belly. Sometimes in the Isle, you're being hunted and you don't even know it. You think you're the predator, untouchable, in control. You form habits and grow comfortable with your surroundings only to have it all taken away in an instant. Like that Herra laying back on the Highlands beach. But sometimes, you do everything right. You're cautious, you're calculated, sneaky. Sometimes there wasn't anything in particular you did wrong, but you're selected all the same. Chosen. Call it fate, call it luck, call it whatever you want. But sometimes in the Isle, you just die. After topping off my diet, I continued on to South Plains. From the bushes on top of a hill overlooking the South Plains River, I began stalking a Carnotaurus. At a distance, I watched him hunt for food. He burned stamina chasing boars, not knowing I was conserving mine for my chance to attack. When he moved into the jungle, I knew it was time. Crouching in a nearby bush, I eagerly awaited my moment. a short bleed pounce, the Carno retreated immediately to the field. Smart. But that wouldn't deter me. I watched him move into a distant bush and decided I would fight him on his terms. Let's dance. This is how every raptor feels when one be wanting anything bigger than itself. Good fight, Carno. I ate the organs and one called my dominance. Shortly after he fell, I met a raptor named Clementine. We grouped up and she filled up on the kill. It didn't last long. We were soon pushed out of the area by two fully grown dilos. Not key. Near the river, Clem was getting some boar when an oblivious Serato ran right over to us. Hey, a meal's a meal. As darkness fell, we were once again pushed off our kill by the Dilos, so we headed to West Rail to see what we could find. The rain set in, masking our movements, and we made our way to the pond to investigate some local chatter we heard. What's this? A lone Carno strutting around without a care in the world? We should fix that. Was that a stego? What in the mix pack? We retreated to the jungle and healed our bleed before heading back to investigate. The Carnos were back. And eating their fallen brother. Times were tough here. Perfect for us to make it worse. We stalked them from nearby bushes and waited for an opportunity. Eventually one presented itself when the big one began dragging the body away. I used this to attack the smaller one sitting down. Things were going good until I took a sloppy bite to the face. Ouch! Remember what I said about solos looking out for themselves? Time to fall back. But now Clem was in trouble. I had to get some of their attention. Perfect. And with that, the big one ran off, leaving us to our hilltop. Not long after, a distracted Dilo ran right into us, and we had to give it a warm hilltop welcome. With a giant gator in the tiny pond and what seemed like a Herrera mix pack, we decided to leave West Rail for Highlands, hoping for more raptors to pack with, but instead found a beautiful scene unfold.
From atop the hillside, the two Omni Raptors see a pair of Dilophosaurus moving southeast. And then a Carnotaurus drinking from the lake. They move to a nearby bush to evaluate, and just in time, a server restart is only 5 minutes away. Soon, the two Dilophosaurus spot the lonely Carno. At 700 kilograms and running speeds of almost 50 kilometers per hour with photosynthesis mutation, they close the distance quickly and prepare to inflict a venomous bite, causing blood coagulation and hallucinations. The Carnotaurus must use his overwhelming size and speed to create distance and joust his opponents in a wide open area that faces. What in the fucking fuck is this? After a rather boring couple of minutes, a new predator has taken interest. A Deinosuchus. 8 tons of AFK terror. All the splashing has aroused him from his YouTube video, and he is poised to strike. Finally, we will see justice for such an annoying playstyle. The Carnotaurus has 2 choices. A deceivingly dry shower fucking even though you are wet everywhere else, or an uncomfortably warm and sandy in all the wrong places beach fucking. He has chosen the 3-way. Avrima Justice.
After whatever the fuck that was, I saw a lonely Dilo, and I couldn't help myself. I attacked. He tried to brush me off into a tree and ran right into Clementine. The tables turned quickly though, and the ones from the lake came over to help. Must be in Discord together. I took too many bites and ran. Server restart in 1 minute? Fuck. This is going to hell. I ran up to the hill towards the spot I had used before to evade predators. Anything that couldn't jump couldn't get me. Safety. I typed for Clementine to join me and she made it too. The Dilo stared in anger at our perch and I logged out for the server restart. Good luck, friend. This is where I mess up. I forgot to hit record again and was only able to get the last couple minutes after logging in. I found what looked to be a lone Packy, pounced and bit him a few times before his stego friend made me run off. Then the Packy continued to chase me, and instead of fighting, for some reason I tried to run. I was already low stam from the pounce and they knew it. I ran for the safety of my perch. I was so confident in safety, I don't know what hit harder. Reality or the headbutt? Fuck. And another fracture. Fuck. No stam. Fuck. He hopped down for a momentary rest and I desperately did the same. But soon he was back. After getting to my feet, I found I could no longer sprint or jump. This was bad. I desperately tried to tail ride, but the ground didn't cooperate and I took a final blow. Well played, Packy. As my raptor's heart flatlined and he ceased to exist, as darkness swept over him, the teachings of this life would not go to waste. Like a blood memory, the lessons learned will shape my next existence and its chances of success. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of content, leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. It lets me know to keep making these types of videos. I had a lot of fun doing this and hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.